Financial peace is a myth, and here's what you need to do about it. Thank you for watching this video. I want to refer to a blog that I did a while back ago called Financial Peace is a Myth, hence the title. Very, very inventive. But I think it's going to share a couple things with you that are important. There's a problem out there, and that is that a lot of folks think that they're going to achieve some kind of financial nirvana. And I'm here to tell you that's not the case. Another blog I want you to take a look at is regarding power spending and consumerism. Both of those, all three of those that I've mentioned so far, are blogs that I've done. And there's a podcast on power spending and also on consumerism and on financial peace. And that can be found at privatawealth.com/blog and podcast respectively. So take a look at those. We go into greater detail, but let me hit some high points. So there are some folks out there who say you should be looking to achieve financial peace. And I'm here to tell you that there is no such thing. You know, Neville Chamberlain, he came back from Germany and said, "I returned from Germany with peace in our time." Well, we all know how that went when you do a deal with Hitler. Didn't go so well. There was no peace. Condoleezza Rice, several days or weeks after September 11, was asked why it happened. And it's because, as she said to Congress in their investigation, we were not on a war footing. So I solve this problem for folks so they're not caught unawares when it comes to their financial plan by explaining to them there's no such thing as financial peace. Let me explain a little bit of what I'm talking about. Well, first of all, there is the constant changes when it comes to legislation. I mentioned before that there are the Secure Act of 2019 is going to be a game changer in retirement. What that means is the plan that you had 5 years ago may or may not be appropriate for today. We have to adjust to the conditions on the battlefield, if you will. Secondarily, we are constantly under attack by the very nature of capitalism. Here's what I mean. If you look at capitalism, when I go and I sell a stock, what I'm saying is that I think cash is better for me than this particular stock. For every time you do a buy and a sell, somebody thinks selling is a better idea and somebody else thinks buying is a better idea. One of them is right and one of them is wrong when it comes just absolutely to price. Obviously, your life situation could be such that cash is better than having that stock and the dividends that it pays, or that bond and the coupon that it pays. The point of the matter is everything in capitalism is adversarial. It is war without bloodshed, where we trade and we barter and we use our highest, best intelligence to do what we think we should do for ourselves and for our family and for our future. And so we have to understand that right off the bat, that there's no resting on your laurels. The third thing I want to talk to you about is consumerism. You know, I am constantly having to update my software on my phone. There is a planned obsolescence, if you will. In fact, there's a blog about that, consumerism and planned obsolescence. Not too long ago, a certain phone company was caught slowing down or hurting your phone until you got the newest upgrade. In fact, then when you got the newest upgrade, it slowed down your phone, so you had to go buy a new phone. Perhaps you heard about this in the news. But that's really true of technology. It's true of fashion. We are constantly being told that there is something better, something faster, something bigger, something more popular that we should be purchasing. And so in capitalism, not just the trading, the buying and the selling of assets that we own, but also services, there is constant advertising. And then finally, and unfortunately, in my opinion, there are people out there in our capitalist society providing financial advice to the masses. They have radio shows, they write books, they write blogs. Okay, I write a blog too. We all do. The reality of it is, though, is they're giving advice to the masses when in reality there's no one size fits all. And so they're telling people to use debit cards instead of credit cards. They're telling people that they should expect 10 to 12% returns in these 4 types of growth stock mutual funds. They're telling people that certain types of investments are forbidden. In other words, you're not allowed to invest in those things. They're always bad. They're saying invest in a Roth instead of a traditional, always, this is how it goes. and they're telling people that they should be investing more in their 401k than anywhere else. That's not necessarily wrong, but when you give advice to the masses, you're not taking care of the individual and the individual's needs. So I don't know if you've ever had that feeling that you've been lied to, if you will. If you ever had that feeling like there's more, well, the reality of it is it's like going to a doctor and saying, well, how do you feel about aspirin? Well, the reality is that aspirin is good for some people and bad for other people. It can thin the blood. Is that what you want? Not if you have a problem with your blood not clotting. So obviously, a doctor's advice is one-on-one. And when it comes to financial advice, it needs to be one-on-one as well. So consider the fact that there is no such thing as financial peace, that you have to be on a war footing, and that the advice that you're getting out there on how to do this war is not necessarily one size fits all. I would like to speak with you about that. If you'd like, click the link below and let's have a conversation about some of the myths perhaps, or some of the things that are true that apply to you that we need to talk about to make sure that you realize that you are in a financial war and that you realize that you can win this war and we can win it together. So take a look at those blogs, take a look at the podcast, take a listen to the podcast, and then feel free to give me a ring and we can give you a second opinion on your portfolio, your financial plan, and some of the things that you believe wholeheartedly that just ain't true.